Hey there, welcome to CNT Collectibles. This is C, and just want to do a little mail day today, catch up on the stuff I've been getting here. So if you've been watching my Hall of Fame Tracker series, you've seen who's on the track, who's not on the track, and in the off season is kind of when I tend to pick up a lot of these guys. In the season, I'll do some speculation, things of that nature if the price is right. But in the off season is where I will do most of the pickup. So last year, going through this exercise, Vlad, Acuna. Alex Bregman. There were some of the names I was targeting, and it worked out pretty well. And so this season, you've seen the names on the list if you've seen them. If not, then these are the guys that are on some sort of Hall of Fame trajectory, should have some sort of lasting value. So we've got a lot to get to here, and so we'll go through it. We'll go through it here position by position. We'll start with the catchers, and Brian Mccann is a player that. He's accumulated enough WAR on Fangraphs, at least on Baseball Reference. A little bit light, but Fangraphs tends to favor defense a little bit more. When you factor in pitch framing and things of that nature, he really was an elite level defender. He had a handful of silver sluggers and really was one of the better offensive players. And so he's a guy that has a pretty decent shot. There's a bit of a logjam at the catcher position. You've got Joe Mauer will have to be next, then you'll have Posey, Yadi, and then kind of after that, see if there's room for Mccann. So. Was he a first ballot guy? No. Should he have some consideration? Yes. And there's a couple of ways to manage risk. And, one way is to, be really good at, the market psychology and kind of figure out what's coming next or have, assign probabilities. The other was to not spend very much and if he goes to zero, who cares? The second is kind of more where I'm at. So Brian Mccann, X-Fractor autograph. This is his Bowman Chrome, and for $35-40, it was what I got this for. It's like if it goes to $0 or $5, then I'm not going to feel too bad about it. But I think he's got a coin flip at least at some point, so we'll see how that works out. Another player that's on a pretty decent path, but he's going to have to play for a few more years and continue to produce a high level, elite level bat and defender. But like most catchers, got a little bit of a later start, and that's Yadi, or excuse me, Yadi's in. All right, Yasmani Grandal, and so. He's going to have to do what he's been doing for a while here, but his stuff is really, really cheap. So again, risk reward sets up favorably from a price angle. Yadi, you can get his things. Is 20. I think this is 2012. Pretty inexpensive. A lot of these were $4 or $5, and so you've got the kind of the numbered gold, and you've got a Bowman first autograph. That was about $20. So all in, I'm like $50 into Yadi. So if it goes to zero, I'm not going to worry about it. But if he does continue over the next couple of years to produce at that Hall of Fame level clip, or something close to it, then those cards will be all right. But again, I'm not too worried about that. So at $50, I'm not going to sweat it too often. All right, a player that I think is in, but it's gonna be interesting. I would have loved to see him play for a couple more years, but his family probably said, "No, you're retiring now is probably pretty good." And that's Buster Posey, finishing with 1,500 hits, but he does have an MVP. He does have some batting titles and just an elite level catcher for a long time. So the longevity will be a question, but a factor that probably puts him over the top. The MVP, obviously, but you've got a lot of the voters for the Hall of Fame. This was their favorite guy, and just kind of off the record, a lot of them were like, "Yeah, of course we're going to vote for him." So this is his Chrome, his wrapper update, and so a little bit harder to find than the base. You had the wrapper redemption, you get a rookie. So it's more limited, and I think the price is right on these again. Probably a Hall of Famer here. So, all right, hometown boy Joe Mauer. Now the 2002 tops were already gold, but so you can get the numbered ones. It doesn't look a whole lot different than the base here, but I think with his batting titles, MVP, that is a player who's in. He's 8th all time in hits, and so I've got some Joe Mauer stuff before, but now it's time for me to step up my game a little bit. Heritage autograph, and this is the X-Fractor autograph here, and this came from Elite Co. And he said, it looks like it's in good condition, really nice condition. And for me, his word means a heck of a lot more than any number a grading company can assign. All right, first base, Mr. Joey Votto stepped up his game this year, and if he can keep it going for a couple of years, he should be in, cracking 2,000 hits, but the 300 average, 400 on base, 500 slugging, should do the trick here. So I'm just trying to pick up a few of his things, some of the base. And I don't expect these things to rocket up to like millions of dollars or anything like that. These aren't going to be big Dems cards. What I do expect is that their cards should hold their value somewhat, so I don't have to hover over them and worry about what's going to happen here. So there's the Heritage to 559, and then the Topps Chrome X Fractor, which is a little bit more of a fancy version. So I'm happy to put a little bit more money into some of the guys that seem like they're on a pretty decent Hall of Fame track and don't have to worry about them too much here. Altuve, whatever you think about him, he's putting up the numbers, and he's well on the pace here. Chase Utley is a player that some of them are so shiny. I just gotta, I don't want to sit them down. I want to show them in the light here. Chase Utley, commensurate WAR, but he's more of a compiler. So who knows how that shakes out? But I should have a little bit of a piece of Chase Utley, not numbered or anything like that. But the black refractor was a bit of a different card here. All right, player that I bought some last year and wanted to do a little bit more. Scott Rowland. Again, commensurate WAR, mostly a compiler. Nothing else really stands out, but terrific defender for a long time, and he was well liked. And so, with the exception, everybody who's gotten 50% of the vote for the Hall of Fame has gotten into the Hall of Fame. Eventually, there's one exception, that was Gil Hodges, and he just got in. So if you get to 50%, there's a good, you're just in. With the exception of people that are currently on the ballot. Scott Rowland has gotten that number here, so I wanted to grab a little bit more of his stuff here. So this is the Prime Prospects. I think that's the 95 Bowman, but the gold variation was limited to like one or a couple per case, so they're a little bit harder to find. So, for, something in that, sub, $20-$50 area or whatever, depending on condition, and these look pretty nice. I figured these were a good prospect. Again, I'm not expecting the prices to rocket up or anything like that, but they should at least hold their value over the long term here. And there's the autograph, the 97 Bowman autograph as well. He signed everything, so his autographs aren't hard to come by, but a player I liked, Austin Reilly, is kind of one of those more speculative plays I'll do in season, but off season, I found this at a pretty good price here, and that's the 3D version here. So it looks like he's pretty good here. Coming up a little bit late, but we'll see how the next couple years treat him here. So player that I've had just a tiny bit of, but his prices are cheap enough, especially in the raw, to just kind of go for it here and put together a run. Trey Turner, who's solidly on the path and had a terrific season here. So the Prism, the regular refractor, a pink sepia, a gold. All right. I think I just threw that in. That was the one I had from a couple years ago or whatever. I didn't just get that one, but here's a purple and a sapphire. So a guy like Trey Turner, if he can stay healthy and keep doing what he's doing, I'm happy to put some more money into him and see how that one shakes out here. So Carlos Correa, solidly on the path, whatever you think about the Astros. Here's another one here, but that's the Snow Camel number to 99, and to get that for around $50 or whatever, I think is a pretty good deal. It should work out over the long term. Xander Bogaerts, I have a lot of Xander Bogaerts, but I think some of his stuff is still kind of cheap, and that's the Walmart Blue. So for what he's doing, I'll just keep adding from here time to time if I see something interesting. Corey Seager, your best shortstop in baseball over the second half of last year. He's really on a nice track as well. Purchased a few of his things in the season and wanted to get a couple more limited versions here. So that's the purple number to 275. 275 is kind of a weird one here, and then the purple autograph. So might as well get something signed from him, and that's out at 250. Everybody knows this guy now. Everyone's on the bandwagon with this guy. So liked him throughout the season, and it's a speculative play, but the price is right on this one here. So blue out of 150, and then I really like the atomic refractors. Those are quickly becoming some of my favorite cards, the Bowman Best Atomics here, and so I was able to pick up his in a pretty nice condition. This guy as well. He just looked elite. So can you just please stay healthy and put together a full season here? But again, manage your risk by just not spending enough or that much. And the Mint 9, PSA 9s are pretty cheap entertainment. Again, those atomic refractors are beautiful. And then the foil boards. These are kind of the cheating foil boards here. So Walmart in their 2020 green boxes put out foil boards numbered to 264. I think normally they're numbered out of 100 something, but then they had their secondary version of foil boards here. So not as limited as the original foil boards, but I think they're really cool cards. They look pretty darn sharp here. So we'll take a shot on Lou Bob while his prices are down, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I'm not going to sweat it either way here, and get the old sapphire version here. Not as limited as in years past, but still beautiful looking cards. Kyle Tucker. There's the Bowman Atomic refractor, so not numbered or anything like that, but they are sharp looking cards. This guy's a star, but Dusty Baker messed with him for the first couple of years, and he didn't really get to show off his skills. So he's still just 24, so plenty of time for him to start doing some stuff if he's at a star level. He has to average upwards of that 5 wins per season for a while, but if you're a Hall of Famer, then you should do that. So again, it's coin flip if that on a lot of these guys, but if you're risking $40-50 on them, then who cares? So 1 out of 50, that's an eBay 1 of 1 there on the Bowman's Best Gold. And then these are the real foil boards, so they don't look wildly different than the kind of the fake ones, but they are more limited. 162 out of that 2019 Topps, so instead of the 270 or whatever it was. So again, I think these are really, really nice looking cards. Bowman first autograph, I think, still pretty cheap entertainment here on these refractors. So again, if it works out great, and if it doesn't, then I'm not going to miss it. So that's my philosophy to collecting here. Is just whatever I spend, I just expect never to get it back. Acuna, this was my favorite card of his, probably. This is the Heritage Action Update. Nice white jersey, white border, sweet swing. It just looks like just a beautiful card overall here. So I'm very happy to have that one while his prices are continuing to stay low. I mean, for good reason. He's hurt, so who knows how he comes back, but his path is sure bright here. And then Bryce Harper, a player that liked for a while, and I think the market's starting to kind of put aside his personality a bit and just say, gosh, this is a Hall of Fame dude right here. So trying to pick up a few more of his variations. Have the front leg up. I've got a couple of his chromes, and now I've got the screaming one. And so I think next up would be the short print or whatever. We'll see how that turns out here, and we will wrap it up. Hall of Fame for movies for me. So this is my friend and yours, Dakota, had a video, and he was showing off his Wizard of Oz cards. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite movies. I never would have thought of something like this. So thanks for pointing this out, and I love this card here. So you're right up as they're entering the Wizard's Palace here. You've got the whole crew together, and so that was a card that was pretty cool and wanted to have. So that's what I got for you. All right, there's the mail day. Now I'm caught up. So there it is. Thanks for watching, and hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye.